I've been talking with Chris Kalinowski, one of the captains for Team Pro's Skiff Challenge boat, and one of the pieces of technology that he talks a lot about really being helpful whenever they're running at night is the Nite track camera. I've never used one before, but he hooked me up with a demo unit to borrow for a couple days and see what I think about it. So to give it a test, I brought it out here to the Skidaway River in Savannah. The camera itself can be mounted almost anywhere on the boat. And the control box, which is right here, has a red button which simply turns it on and off, and then a yellow button which is an IR booster, which allows it to see in the darkest of conditions. I've never used it before, this is my first time trying it out, so I want to do a quick video and share with you guys and see what we think. Alright, so it's dark now, so we can go ahead and give the Nite tracks a shot. First thing let's do for safety is go ahead and kill these courtesy lights. They do nothing but blind you when you're running at night. Next thing I'm going to do is go ahead and turn on night mode. You'll see the Simrad displays are linked over Ethernet, so they'll actually respond both at the same time, as will the Suzuki gauge. You can see everything changed immediately. Next, let's go ahead and take the brightness down to something where we can barely see it. I like keeping mine super low so that I don't ruin my night vision. And then just a brief overview of how I run at night. You'll see on the screen directly in front of me, I have a zoomed in view with radar overlay. This helps me because I can always see the depth of the water I'm about to approach, and I also see any boats on the radar as part of the overlay, and I can tell if it's a channel marker or a boat. On the other side here, you'll see I have a zoomed out view so that I can see the bends in the river and where I'm going and where I'm at. And then I have a clean radar view so that I can see the radar without all the distractions on the chart. All of these things combined really help the safety of running at night. And then finally, we've got the Nite track temporary display. So if this was permanently installed on your boat, you could actually connect it to the Simrads and do a split screen. But for now, it's just mounted with a regular mount on my dash. And it's pretty impressive. My first impression is actually really impressed at what it can see. Because if we go ahead and look up, you can't see anything out ahead of us. It's a pretty dark night with cloud cover. All right, so let's flip off the map blade and give it a shot. All right, so slowing down a little bit, just getting into an area with a few docks, and wanted to show you what I see. It's kind of interesting. I thought I would prefer one or the other, but actually I think they work really well in parallel with one another. You see a lot more detail on the camera, whereas the radar gives you a heads up much further out than the camera does. This is pretty impressive. So you can see all this detail. All that the radar really tells me is just some solid object is there. So we have a channel marker coming up. I wanted to go ahead and power down just to demonstrate how accurate these electronics are. It's actually really impressive. So you can see the channel marker on the radar is that little blip right there. Like I mentioned earlier, if we go over to the radar without the chart, it's much easier to see there's an obstacle coming up. And then if we go ahead and we look down at the Nite track, I'm going to turn us around to where we're facing the channel marker. It sees it plain and clear. And I'm going to go ahead and leave it on just so you guys can see how accurate these overlays are. So this is pretty cool. I can even see crab traps as I approach our neighborhood. If you look at this little tiny dot, that's a crab trap. And then it looks like one of my neighbors is out. All right, so we're almost home. For the last stretch here, I'm going to focus only on the night tracks to just show you what I see as we're running this last little stretch of river.